Hello everyone. This is the first in a series, we hope, and we would like to call it The Fly on the Wall. I am not quite sure who is the fly and who is the wall, but let's find out together. My name is Sam Vaknin, and some of you may know that I'm the author of Malignant Self-Love, Narcissism Revisited. Okay, got it, sorry. And sitting opposite me is my wife, long-suffering, as she is known, Lidija Rangelovska. And Lidija and I are just going to talk. Simply talk, as we do very frequently at home. And see how it comes, how it goes. We're going to discuss, obviously, topics that are of interest to you. Anything from narcissism in mental health settings, to narcissism in society, manifestations of narcissism, how it affects everything from media to youth, adolescents, to marriages, to... We're gonna ramble, we're gonna rant, and hopefully you will find our ramblings and rants as interesting as we do. And if you don't, this is YouTube. Switch off, move to another channel. Don't. Hello, Lidija.
Hi.
Okay. What would you like to discuss?
Yesterday, I met a few friends. One of them is like 26, 27. The other one was 39. And the third one was between. So I was able to see what is the gap from the youngest to the oldest, me. That was me. Almost half century life. I'm proud of it, frankly. But the youngest one was absent, meaning like she had to be present and absent. The absence was when the phone was ringing, when there was a message from some social media or something, and she felt obliged to answer.
Yeah.
In my generation, it
compulsive.
was impolite.
Yeah.
You know, when you talk to someone or you're in a group or something, to respond. You know, we wanted the spontaneity, the conversation to... There was some meaning while we were communicating at the time. But with younger generations, you know, they are constantly interrupted, and they were refocused, then wanted to again start or to continue, but they forgot where they were. So I made a remark like, how come this is happening? Can't you at least focus, you know, at least to remember the last sentence of the conversation before? What was you forgot what was really important for you to hear. You asked the question, and she did before, and we should have, you know, just among us discussing the topic, you know, and solve some issue or suggest different views for her to be able to choose, let's say, to choose an option, in which direction she would go solve her own problem, what we discussed, and mattered to her so much. And I was pulled back. I said, you are not orientated, not in space, not in the body, not in the mind, you know. And I find that these generations, up to 30, they are in a mess. They need more organization. So after that, I mean, we spoke and so on. It's due to some sick, pathological attachment styles, I must say. We know what attachment styles are, but it comes from home. So I found out that she actually had not very good example at home. There is some latent abuse, and she was personally abused, even physically, by a parent. Look, I felt it on my own skin. So I had very pathological attachment with you. You're a narcissist, right? you are diagnosed with narcissism. But many people will say, what on earth are you doing with this person? But they don't understand my history, how I grew up. You know, maybe I found some solution or less painful for me personally, and found a value in you. But she is too young. She doesn't still know what is right, what is wrong. So she attaches to everyone, and she can't make a difference, and she falls in problems all the time, and she doesn't know how to organize her life. You know, is it?
I try to have a bit of a wider view. The smartphone is like a portal to another universe. It is through the smartphone or similar devices that you enter another world, which is cyberspace. The problem of, I don't know if it's a problem, by the way, the thing that characterizes young people is that they are no longer able to make distinction between that reality and this reality, that universe and this universe. So, if someone calls on the phone, he is as real as someone you're sitting with. As real. It's exactly like that person would materialize mysteriously and talk. So, of course, she would pay attention. So, I think the distinction, the border between virtual reality and real reality is blurring, disappearing. And it all becomes one universe, one reality to the young people, not with older people, but with young people. So that for them, a friend on Facebook is as real as a friend outside Facebook. Someone who calls on the phone is as real as someone who is talking to them, sitting with them, etc., etc. And this is part of even larger phenomenon, I think. That is the phenomenon of merging of man and machine. Man and machine are going to merge. They are already merging. We already have people with artificial legs, artificial hearts, artificial this, that. And we are already attached to our devices sometimes more than we are attached to our children. So we already, devices are part of us completely. So I think in 50 years, man and machine will be totally merged, like cyborgs, and artificial intelligence will be integral part of the body. So I think this, what we are seeing is the beginning of this trend of living as much inside the machine as outside the machine. She doesn't see any difference between whoever called.
But to be able to make a distinction...
Why? For what?
Look, she was on social networks. She has friends there, friends. In our society, you have friends and with whom you
why would you make a distinction?
The thing was that they discussed some problem, and she asked for validation of her emotions, how to, some sort of help, you know. But she ended up talking to some elder women that have different values. And she turned and she preferred a few hours in reality, you understand? So there was disturbance. She was disturbed. She was like hooked. She had to respond.
I think young people are getting much more relevant information to them from the smartphone than from outside the smartphone. Here's the failure of society. Families disintegrated, communities disappeared. Today, the young person is getting much more relevant and important and critical information via the smartphone than, from example, from mother or neighbor.
But let's be frank. Who really have time to be on social media? Then the children who avoid studying or writing the homework for tomorrow. They are much younger. Or some, I call them desperate women who found themselves alone, divorced, without husbands, on social welfare, because this is what I see. But they are bored, in effect. Most of them are bored. They don't have what to do, and this girl that really has a problem is asking for some validation from who exactly? What is the relevancy? I mean, what they can say. A child from, I mean, like a teenager.
I think we should ask teenagers. We should ask teenagers what is the information they deem relevant and important, and you will discover, I think, that the only information they consider relevant and important is their position relative to others, their relative ranking. And the designers of social media knew that. So that's why they put likes and, I mean, to addict the teenager. To addict the teenager to this. So she, for example, if she has a choice between you and your wisdom of the years and so on, and to check how many likes she received or how is she compared to Boyana, her girlfriend, she would prefer this. It's much more relevant information to her, because she learned, all the young generations learned, that the real world has nothing to offer to them. And really, it has less and less to offer. It's a major problem, the disappointment of the new generations.
I asked her, how come after years there, she explained that she didn't see the problem as, I mean, her problem that she described as how I see it from outside. I said, of course you can't, because you're in it. And she wanted to prove her theory, her narrative, to be okay, right, that she has to live with it. So she went on social media trying to be or to express herself and to explain herself with other that actually she knew in reality as well. But she noticed that they behaved completely different. In a group, commenting on her post, for example, commenting different than the advice, for example, she got them personally in reality.
She meant the same people?
Yes.
The same people who were in the...
Yes. The response in a group from the very same person was diametrically opposite than what that person told her in reality. So she even got more confused. And that confusion, she adopted that kind of life all the time, to be confused. And that was also very interesting why she chose, she wanted to leave herself in, in this uncertainty. When we all know that it's our basic fear that we cannot predict the future, and we try to solve the problems, to feel safe and more grounded, more in reality, when, there is this very basic need. And we can't live, and we are trying to avoid the fear of uncertainty. So it's like a challenge for the young. This is something I can't understand. I'm trying to. Is it a challenge? What is there behind all this?
I think cyberspace, and more specifically social media, are designed to entrap the young by offering.
By confusing them.
By offering a self-enclosed informational environment, so you don't need ever to exit, for example, Facebook. You got news, you got friends, you got or Instagram. But even more importantly, by offering artificial measures of certainty. So they introduce certainty and safety artificially via quantitative measures. How many likes, how many shares, how many friends you have, and so on. When you go to Facebook, you have numbers. I have 5,000 friends. I received 186 likes, etc. You have, and numbers are always certainty, always. When you exit Facebook and you go to or Instagram and you go to real life, things become much more fuzzy, much more unclear, much more ambiguous. Youngsters cannot cope anymore with ambiguity, with equivalent. Previous generations of young people were able to cope with ambiguity, unclarity, uncertainty, equivocation. Youngsters today cannot do that because they have no other sources of certainty. As a youngster 50 years ago, your mother was a source of certainty, your father, the village, your neighbors, your teachers. There were many sources of the state. There were many sources of certainty. Today, if you're a youngster today, you're 16, who? Your divorced parents? Your non-existent community? Your cheating politicians?
It is escaping.
Who? So only two sources of certainty, celebrities and social media. And they are linked usually. They are together. These are the only two sources left. So young people are addicted to sources of certainty, celebrities and social media.
But the effect, as this girl claims, is opposite. It's more uncertainty.
Because she met these people in reality. Vast majority of teenagers don't do that. Actually, according to studies, 80% of teenagers make it a point never to meet the people they are on the same social network. 80%. That's research we did for
she met few.
That's created uncertainty. Yeah. The contrast.
I don't think this is what I'm trying to help her getting out from to distinct social media from a reality, because even when she's in reality, she behaves as though she is in the social media. Her reactions are such, and it's confusing, and you can see the immediate, the instant answers. You know, they expect from the other instant answers now. If not now, then never. You know, it creates, it gives a little bit of profile of. I mean, they are more aggressive, more paranoid. I mean, so now I'm not talking only about her, but all those who I met and treated in between, from 13 to, actually from 12 to 35. So it's obvious that they have some dependency on social media. They know and they are aware that they don't get the positive, or their emotions are not validated, because they don't really know what are the values of those people who are on social media, and they can change their minds depending of what is discussed there. I mean, on the post or whatever the reason is, the comments, and they're pretty, contradictory. The same person can. I noticed that. I also had private letters. I was on Facebook. I opened it much later, like 4 years ago. But I really don't know when was the last time I visited my Facebook page. What I was repelled by is that people there responded on what they heard last. And they were not even thinking that they were actually contradicting themselves. And this is the confusion. And that person is still there. Why? I'm asking, why she wants to be confused all the time? That is the point that I don't understand.
What do you suggest? That she leaves social media? Or she leaves reality?
When I was,
which of the two?
When I was actually put in a, the reason why I went out. I said, this person is not, something is, there were too many glitches in the correspondence. So it actually few, never mind. But it was too different of how she represented herself, how she commented on
what would you suggest to that youngster to leave social media?
It's not only youngster.
To whoever.
There are
to leave
a group
social
of
media.
people that they are becoming dependent on the confusion. By actually confusion, they get information from social media, from who knows who. We don't even know. Maybe they are 62, but actually they are, in reality, they are 18 years old. And they play clever. Everyone plays clever. But they don't really I don't know, it's the informations that they are passing. It's really confusing for the other. We are different, we are coming from different places, we have different backgrounds, families, different attachment styles, different traditions, whatever, we are differently. They want to unify it. And most of the young people that I met here, they want to leave. What? They think that the life there is better. Some of them really went and worked abroad for summertime, summer camp, studies, but and they all comment that they feel like two personalities, And if I showed you the quantum test of a person who lives abroad and here, and her behavior is completely different. Really like she had two personalities. No wonder she said, "Can you help me integrate the two?" It's the effect is enormous. The environment.
So you're comparing it to social media? I didn't understand why.
Social media is environment. It's global environment. This country is this country. The other countries, but when you go and visit, you read about it. First, you have some reserve. You go, you meet people, you see how it is. Can you adapt or not? There is nothing like that in social media. You instantly belong.
No,
I
think social media has very important characteristics that separates it from, for example, immigration or finding yourself in a new environment. Social media is a private case of online multiplayer games. Online multiplayer games started long before social media. These are games where you play online with thousands of other people, millions, sometimes millions of other people. There's a territory that looks physical territory. So when you log into the game, you find yourself in a country. The country has rules and flag and coins, and it's absolute real country. You can use the money that you make in that country to buy goods in that country. Some of these goods have real life equivalents. So if you buy something in that country online, you get it by mail.
Yeah.
Some real thing. So it is interfaced with reality. But it's a whole continent or environment or country where you live. And many people became so addicted to it that they actually spend much more time in that imaginary country than in reality. In that imaginary, in these online multiplayer games, you can't be yourself. You have to choose something called avatar. The avatar, you buy it in a store usually. The avatar is an image, figure, that is you. So you can be a man and choose avatar of a woman and so on. Why am I mentioning all this? Because in my view, Facebook and Instagram, for example, they are multiplayer games. Online multiplayer games.
Like who will pretend more?
You are not yourself on Facebook, and you present a synthetic version of yourself, sterilized version of yourself. You obviously don't share your real emotions.
Some people do.
Very few. Confess, admit to having a love affair. It's very sterilized version.
What you are saying is that everyone is fake there.
Yes.
But I know also that some people are very honest there.
Everyone is an avatar. They're not honest. They choose to expose private information that enhances their avatar. So, for example, if the avatar is, I'm a victim, they will reveal information that will support their victimhood. But they will not, for example, reveal information where they are abusive.
I know a psychopath.
Yeah.
You will cry on the stories that she publishes.
Yes.
But in reality, she is a psychopath.
So that's it. That's what I'm saying. Everyone chooses an avatar. When they open Facebook account, they choose an avatar. Unconsciously, they choose avatar.
I did not.
So, for example, if I open an account, it would be the genius account. So I would show how clever I am, how amazing I am. But I would not talk, for example, about my sexuality. So,
but you did.
so,
Okay.
example. So, I think Facebook and Instagram are forms of multiplayer games. I think that's precisely the source of the confusion. Because they are multiplayer games pretending to be reality. This is the source of the confusion. It's a game. But when you enter it, you are forced to, and that's why, for example, they are called friends. Facebook friends. Friend is something that comes only in reality. And yet, total strangers, in Facebook, they're called friends. To deceive you. It's a very deceitful environment.
It is.
Where a game, multiplayer games are called multiplayer games. You know you're playing a game. You're not an idiot. You don't think you are the avatar. Yeah?
Yeah.
You invest a lot of intellectual effort and imagination in becoming the avatar. But it's a game. It's like acting in a movie. When you act in a movie, you don't think you are the character. You still know you are George Clooney. You don't confuse and say, am I George Clooney or am I? But when you are acting on Facebook, you do get confused. You're saying, am I Sam Vaknin or am I the Sam Vaknin of Facebook? It's very disorienting because they pretend to be reality.
Okay, I try to be honest. I mean, I posted everything what I felt like posting. It was me, actually. I didn't choose an avatar, and
no one chooses avatar. I'm saying you behave like an avatar. You become an avatar.
But I try to be as honest as possible. How the others perceive me.
I don't think you were honest, and I don't think you were dishonest. I think you were totally impersonal. You posted some. So this is another choice, but it's also an avatar.
But look, what is the impact of it? I'm not there anymore. I'm disgusted.
Okay.
It's not only that. I lost the trust in those people. Because I saw the discrepancy, what they were writing, what they were commenting, how they behaved. You know.
For people your age.
I spent 4 hours. I had some people there, really, they presented themselves that they were, you know, in a very situation. So, trying to help, understand, you know, give them another perspective for them to understand. But it was a waste of time. Complete waste of time. So I concluded, I mean, there are only few that they are genuine and they are, you know, stable. They are stable.
Still,
I mean,
still they're showing
their values.
Still they have a filter. I mean, it's not possible not to have a filter.
Of course it is. Yeah. But there were some comments they didn't publish on the post that I posted, but they sent me a private message. They sent me a private message and then we discussed for real.
Yeah,
but it wasn't on the wall. So people limit themselves in even expressing their real views, their real values, you know. Yes, I got a message. Oh, I saw Sam last video. How come he is putting his sleeve up? I said, what about the content? Who cares? I didn't even notice. I was listening what he had to say. I didn't even notice that he did that. We all have. So the other day you told me that context doesn't matter anymore. And when you make a clever comment, people start actually to abuse you. They attack you. You think you are clever, that you know everything. It's not about that. I'm open to communication. Let's talk about it. But let's find some common understanding. Let's help each other. But they continue to curse, to humiliate. You know, they're fighting with someone else. I said, I didn't want to enter a battlefield. The social media, Facebook especially, turned, for me, a battlefield. You know, people threaten just out of blue. They don't know me, they don't live with me.
It's not people, that's what I'm trying to say.
I understand.
These behaviors...
But why? So what I'm trying to say, it's abuse.
these behaviors,
You open yourself to abuse. That's why I'm not there.
real people would never engage in these behaviors.
Yes.
Avatars can do anything. That's precisely it. Avatars can do anything. It's a little like the Truman Show or the Matrix.
Yeah, okay.
Truman believed fully that he was living a real life.
Yeah.
He believed he was living a real life. He didn't realize that his wife was an actress. It was all a show. He believed that he was... a teenager who has an Instagram account, it's very easy for her to confuse the Instagram account with real life and to render herself an avatar because she will filter what she's posting. Sometimes the peer pressure will filter it for her, but always there will be filter. The second there is a filter, it's not you, it's an avatar acting and so on. Now avatars can do anything. They can be aggressive, they can threaten, they can humiliate, abuse.
The impression that I got.
Avatars can do anything.
Impression that I got is the social media is a perfect tool for really people who can't stand themselves in reality. It's delusional way out.
Yes, true.
It's their false self.
Being not you.
The avatars, what you are describing, is their false self.
True, I agree.
So this is what I felt, that they are all too grandiose or too narcissistic.
Not necessarily. No.
Thus, very abusive. Sam, you know that I have the
false
sense
self,
for that.
yes. False self, yes. But it doesn't have to be grandiose false self. But it's false.
I agree. I'm just putting comma and this and this. Okay. So when from the sentence I write, I'm like, wow, not this person. So I didn't know that in 2014. But later, I said, these people don't have sense for the other. They abuse your time. They use you to express the dark side, my dark side, what I mean about. So they express their sadism to others. Mm-hmm. It's not only that. It's not hate. It's not hate. I despised. Is that they it's because of you. You don't know me. What do you know? What is me? It is all in your head.
What is because of your instinct?
Because of some behavior or stupid comment, or you brainwash me, and because they are such if you go to some forums, you can. I read comments of people. They attack each other, and you can see what's going on there. It's frightening. So they accuse, they threaten. Look, there are cases that from social media something stupid happened in reality. Something bad. Mm-hmm. They meet in social media, they fall in love, then they meet in reality and she is raped. For example, most of the kids take it for, they become paranoid. You had such a case. Isn't it pity? Not to sleep, not to eat, to be depressed when you are 13, 14? Really?
Yeah.
And it's what I'm trying to say. If there isn't, and this generation, young generations, I don't know where their mothers are. They didn't teach them to make the difference. To make the difference between what is good, what is bad.
It's new.
An analysis,
social
to give them
new.
To pass some experience,
It's new. Social media is new. No one knows how to deal with it. Even the inventors of social media don't know how to do it. Mark Zuckerberg, until today, is struggling what to do, what not to do. It's very new. It's a tool, so it's very new. But I think social media is disinhibitory. In other words, it's an environment where inhibitions go down. In this sense, it's like alcohol. Alcohol has the same effect. It's disinhibitory. The question is, the interesting question in my view, two. One, why inhibitions go down in social media? One explanation is because it's not you. You're an avatar, so it's not you. As you, there are many behaviors you will not engage in because you have inhibitions, as you. But if it's not you, if it's an avatar of you, the avatar can do anything. That's And especially true where you can be anonymous, where anonymity is allowed, for example, Instagram, then everything is possible. Because as an anonymous person, definitely it's not you, no shame, no guilt, no conscience, no control. That's the first question. Why, by definition, social media is disinhibitory? It's not a necessary outcome. It could have been different. Why is it inhibitory? For example, I was a member of things that preceded social media, like forums, support forums. There was aggression and so on, but nothing remotely close to social media. No. So what in social media disinhibits? That's one thing.
What is it?
I think my personal speculation, but speculation has to be studied.
Course, yeah.
Has to be studied in research, not just to speculate. My speculation is that it's a ranking algorithm. In other words, the more disinhibited you are, the more likes you get, the more shares you get. I call it escalation. So you start by saying asshole, you get 400 likes. Then you say something much worse, some much worse expletive, you get 1,000 likes. Then you put a photo of yourself naked from here, you get 2,000 likes. And then you show that part, and you get 2 million likes.
So it's encouraging.
It's reinforcement. It's a positive rewarding system, positive reward system that encourages escalation.
Sam, but values are changed. That's is not nice.
That's one thing. And second question, I think, is how to redesign it to avoid disinhibition. So now social media are trying to do that. They are banning some content. They are closing down accounts. They are just starting to do this. But I think it's too late, in my view. Too late because if they cross a certain point, they will lose all their subscribers. And this they cannot do.
But for me, this signifies how, it's a proof, in effect, of letting someone be himself and expresses himself as avatar, right? Here it is, a social media. Look what they are liking. The bad words, the, this part and then this part. So they are rewarding the bad.
Yeah, true. Extreme. I don't know bad, but extreme. The more extreme you are.
I don't think it's extreme.
The more extreme
there are some extreme sports.
But they are also rewarded. Also
yeah, but
on YouTube, some of the biggest.
But peeling bananas for hours every day,
I don't know if it's bad.
It's
pointless. It's pointless, but not bad. It doesn't have to be bad. It has to be extreme. Radical. Could be bad, radical. Could be good, radical, by the way. You have videos.
I don't think so.
Yes. There are videos on
not
YouTube.
So much support
videos
for
on
good.
YouTube. No, there are videos on YouTube, altruistic videos that get millions of views. No. Just extreme, radical. So if you donate your kidney to your brother, you will get 20 million views. And if you massacre your brother on camera, you will get 20 million views. Has to be extreme. And this radicalization is built into the system.
Can't they make the system, inbuild the system, changing the parameters, like
they can.
To support more what is good?
They can, positive, but they don't want to.
They encourage the abuse. They encourage abuse.
They encourage views. They need the views. The model is wrong. The business model. The business model of social media is advertising. For example, Facebook didn't come to you and say, listen, if you want to have an account, you have to pay $5 a month, which is what they're making on you, by the way. $5 a month. You don't want? You don't want. I think if they made this, instead of 2 billion, they would have 60 million, but still would make a fortune.
Yes,
60 million is $300 million a month.
But the greed.
But they want more.
Yeah, the greed.
$300 million is not enough. No. They want $7 billion a month. Yes. So they opened it to advertising.
Yes.
And because it's advertising, they must show the advertiser, the company that is advertising, they must show how many views and how to get views. Radicalization, extremism. If they could get away with it, they would post terrorism videos, snuff movies where people kill each other. I mean, they would post, you name it, they would post it, if they could get away with it. But of course it's illegal.
Yeah.
But if it were legal, trust me, they would put it.
They would have, yeah. I agree.
So, and very long time, by the way, very long time. And mysteriously, YouTube did not remove terrorism videos. It was not a big problem. You type terrorism.
Yeah.
I mean, there were terrorism videos all over, millions of them.
Yeah.
And YouTube didn't do anything. For well over 10 years, YouTube didn't do anything. So, views. So the youngsters can no longer make the difference between identity and self, identity, self, and avatar, reality and virtual or hyper or augmented reality, inhibitions and disinhibition, and so on. So they are disoriented completely because for them social media is as real as reality, and yet the messages are conflicting. For example, in reality, if you seek too much attention, you're a narcissist.
Yeah.
It's considered bad.
Arrogant.
But on Facebook,
It's
if you
allowed.
don't seek too much attention, you're an idiot. You're a loser.
Yeah, loser. Yeah.
So the messages are conflicting
Exactly.
completely.
Yes.
And because both of them are very real to the teenager, it creates what I called in the movie reality dissonance.
Yes.
It creates a clash.
And this is exactly what I witnessed.
Yeah.
The only thing is that if she was conscious about the impact, why she was still addicted to it?
You have to give up a lot.
It was addiction.
Yeah. You have to give up a lot.
I should help her overcome her addiction.
It is addiction.
It is. I saw her.
I'm working
She
on
couldn't, and she was actually, she showed signs of obsessive compulsiveness.
Yes, I'm working on a detox program for social media. It is addiction, absolutely.
But it's not doing, okay, when I started to work with youth, and they all say, I found you on the social media. I don't have any commercial. I didn't say what I'm doing, what I'm working. I did not even mention the program I made. But where did they get this from?
Yeah.
You know, what is the... So I saw you were living with a narcissist, so you can, you know, okay, I will buy it.
You're living with narcissists?
Yeah, okay. But I will buy it. Many people come with that approach, so I can... But they are, you know, I also received, like, you are like this, you are like that. You have a Facebook page, and they know everything about you. But even if they start from themselves, you know, knowing that they choose avatar, they created a false self, how they can convince someone else about me, you, or anyone else. For one group of people, you will be considered God. For another group of people, you will be considered demon. You know, why they have to label? They don't know you. I live with you. I should tell them more. Okay, I was brainwashed. Even that I heard. Never mind. But see, the problem with social media is that you see the words, you believe the words, not the actions. My father taught me, you don't believe words, you believe facts, what was done. So this is the problem.
Actions.
As I see,
Believe actions.
because you are present and you know, you are talking. And there is some effect because you act and you have, you know, conferences, you have seminars, you have lectures. There is something that they can connect. So if I connect it, I would say, I will label you as educator. Not like God, not like demon, you know, that would be realistic. But because social media is, you know, extreme. So you are extremely good, God, or extremely bad, the demon. You know, polarization. And this is the confusing thing. which group to believe. While in reality, and if judging by what you are doing, and it's very good old philosophical, advice, why they are, just a second, why they don't see what other people do? Judge them. It's okay, judge them. I will judge also. You judge me, I will judge you. We all have the inner critic, right? We have to value somehow the situations, to be, in order to learn a lesson and adopt to reality, not to some abstract world.
I connected to an issue of that I would discuss in a minute. But the irony is that social media were created so that to allow you to feel special, because there's 7.6 billion people on the planet. Everyone wants to feel.
But that's narcissistic.
Everyone wants to feel. No, that's not narcissistic.
Encouraging narcissism.
That's actually part of identity formation. Identity formation, separation, individuation is about becoming individual. So
but you can't.
Today it's very difficult to become individual.
Yes, true.
Number of people is enormous. So you need to separate yourself somehow. So some people dress in a crazy way. Some people paint their hair green. It's not working anymore. Too many people with green hair. So they radicalize. So they put piercings in crazy places. Even that is not working. So we see radicalization of attempts to become unique. And social media is part of this trend, I want to be unique. The irony is that on social media you can't be you.
Exactly.
So it's not you who is unique, it's your false self that is unique.
Yes, yes.
And that's the irony. Yeah. But coming back to your question, I think the problem is there's too much information. We have a glut of information. Someone calculated that in a typical day, in today's environment, or hour even, I don't remember, no more than day, but I think it was even hour. We get more information than our grandfathers, grandparents in a lifetime. Mm-hmm. So too much information. Yes. Now, how people react to too much information, they usually generalize. That's the natural defense for too much information. So you have stereotypes for people. Mm. You can't, if you have 25 million blacks, you can't interview 25 million blacks and form separate opinion on each of them. You have a general opinion of blacks, and that is called stereotype. You have general opinion of Macedonians, of Russians, of Israelis, of Palestinians. I mean, this is stereotyping. And the same, you have general opinion of narcissists, general opinion of wives of narcissists, general opinion of youngsters.
Yeah, okay. Classification.
We generalize as a defense against a glut of information, against too much information. And we try to stand out, try to be unique. Again, the irony is that you should be unique as yourself. And instead, the vast majority of people are unique as not themselves, as not they.
Yes.
It's bizarre. In a way, sometimes I think that I'm much more authentic as a narcissist than most people. Because as a narcissist, my false self is indeed me. Yes. There is nothing else except the false self. That's really me.
But this is exactly the sick part, what I'm referring to. You know, I know people in real life, I make friends with them, they went through whatever, some crisis, and then I read their posts and suddenly they are victims, and in reality they indeed behave like victims. They failed because of their grandiosity. They, since they're narcissists, you know, they were self-destructive.
You said something about grandiosity the other day. What was it? Grandiosity is what?
Grandiosity is self-destruction.
Is self-destruction. Would you care to elaborate a bit on this?
But this is exactly what I started to say.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, okay. So many people that were narcissistic. Mm-hmm. But of course, narcissism is on the scale, right? Depending on the circumstances. So they used to be abused in the family, rejection by the mother, and so on. Then there were, here or there, some unpleasant events, death of a parent and failed relationship and so on. And with each abuse, after each event, the person became more and more and more narcissistic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, that person was a victim, but every time situation, I mean, the death happens in life. We all will die one day.
Narcissism.
It's not, but the paranoia, the catastrophizing, that is more borderline or right thing, and it's good to think that way. Also, a little bit paranoid. It's not so bad to be a little paranoid after having such experience before.
Okay.
Okay, but sustaining the fear, the uncertainty, it's actually it's very needed to support your grandiosity.
Mm-hmm.
This is
And how is this connected to self-destruction? I still don't understand.
okay, because when you are grandiose, you have you have your narrative delusions. It's not realistic.
Mm-hmm.
In
Sure.
reality, other things happen.
Sure.
You think differently, not realistically. You don't have realistic assessment. I mean, you don't have reality tests. Narcissists don't have it. Simply, they think out of their grandiosity is pushing them to think this way, but in reality, they are really wrong. It's not so.
And this leads to self-destruction or negative outcomes.
Because they are switched off. They miss this click. What I'm saying, the click that translates the facts, the rationality. They can't translate it properly, so they are not really realistic. They don't have realistic assessment. They don't have assessment on reality. And then they make a mistake.
Can I tell the story what happened with the leg? With my leg, because it supports.
Let me as an example is good. And then there, because of the lack of information and because of not having the knowledge, no, they have the knowledge, but not the implementation of it. Like they didn't learn the lesson, and they repeat it, and they make even worse mistake. And they said, no, now I will clutch to it, and I will finish with it, and and this is they will for sure. They are going to lose something: money, friends, families, whatever. They are going to lose. They are doomed. This is the self-destructiveness. And my latest example of people, I said, wow. Because of this, he, whatever, will flip. I was telling you, wow, this is happening, he is going to flip soon. It took what, month, 2, and the bad act, I wouldn't mention what exactly, the product that person made was to self-destruct. The reputation. And now I have to change. I am now a victim. I have to change my, what I was doing. Please, it's only excuse. And he can't see it, that he really failed. He was not good enough for what he was doing because it was false, because he didn't know.
This is one of the enigmas of narcissism that I hadn't solved. I dedicated 23 years to the topic. And I think I covered pretty much everything and solved, I think, pretty much most of everything. But this I couldn't solve. If narcissists are grandiose, that means they believe they are omnipotent. How can we explain that they have alloplastic defenses? How can we explain that they blame others for what is happening to them? How can we explain that they give power to others? If I feel that I'm godlike, I can't say that something bad happened to me because of you. Because that means you have the power to do something bad to me. And that means I am not all-powerful. How can I have an external locus of control? How can I say that my life is determined from the outside? That would mean that I am not godlike. There is a discrepancy. How can I be dependent on other people for narcissistic supply? There is an inbuilt contradiction, inbuilt discrepancy in narcissism.
Yeah.
The narcissist on the one hand feels that he is God, but on the other hand, he feels that he is utterly helpless child victim.
Yes.
And
it constantly shifts.
And this contradiction I couldn't solve I can't see how it can live together in the same organism. How this can. So I think narcissists are in constant state of dissonance.
Yes.
Constant.
And
state.
they need constant validation, and they need constant.
Even that doesn't help.
And they need secondary source of supply.
Even that doesn't help. I don't think anything resolves the. I think narcissism is the only kind of personality that is in 100% of the time in dissonance.
Yes.
And nothing helps.
Yes.
Not cognitive dissonance tools, not learning new information,
No.
not using people's opinions, not love, nothing helps to resolve this dissonance, because you can't on the one hand claim that you're God, and on the other be utterly dependent on other people to regulate even your tiniest
Yes.
internal processes
Yes.
that a child age 9 is doing.
Yes.
Be so helpless and so victim, so much victim. So I think this dissonance in narcissism is permanent. Permanent state of dissonance. This constant permanent dissonance is something we can discuss next time, because I think it leads to very many contradictory behaviors.
Yes.
I think this is exactly what confuses narcissistic abuse victims. Not the abuse, because if abuse is predictable and constant, you develop coping strategies, you somehow survive, or you exit.
Yeah.
It is exactly this contradictory behavior. Now, as opposed to someone like the psychopath, the narcissist's contradictory behavior is not premeditated, intentional, planned. The psychopath is doing it
Yes.
as intermittent reinforcement.
Yes.
Psychopath is nice to you, abuses you, hot,
Yes.
cold,
Yes.
approach, avoidance. And this is to condition you,
Yes.
to make you a slave.
Yes.
That is intentional.
Emotional blackmail.
Yes, it's intentional.
Yeah.
It's narcissist is doing it automatically
Yes.
because it reflects his inner state.
Exactly.
He is pendulating between extremes,
What I
and
see,
he cannot find the balance. He cannot.
and what I see from outside, you know, I got used to that. Yeah, each morning is different. Depends.
Yeah, he cannot find the balance.
Depends what he was dreaming about. I mean, you or whoever from my past, but we call it in a very, you know, old people are saying, oh, he has inner conflict. This is the first thing, you know, what babas, the old wise women here would have said about such person. And when I read and work on the subject, it is unsolved conflicts, mostly, and as I see from others. But it has many more other components, and for it to develop the very stronger the dissonance, it's like how I see it. So it's my opinion only. I haven't read it anywhere. It depends on the very basic needs for that person as a child. What were the basic needs that were not fulfilled? So when the program that I made, it's not for a group of people, or I can't make a seminar out of it and teach someone about it. Okay, it's very personal. It's very extremely personal, and because it's very sensitive for the other person. That person, from that small thing, however, maybe sometimes, you know, and for example, there was a very good example. I was so I was so abused. I felt very bad that my mother did not buy me the shoes that I liked, you know, even though they were not expensive and this and from that hurt or rejection or whatever, there is a whole philosophy. That person today buys shoes whenever has money. You understand? And it became obsession, compulsion.
So you should
it became addiction.
You should ask for
You
her
understand?
number out of the shoe.
Sometimes they're very simple things, but after years, decades, after abuse, it's enormous.
I think we're confusing two issues. What you're talking
what
is,
I'm trying to say is, I'm not talking about what you said before specifically. I'm telling you that you never know, and I don't think that narcissists are very courageous to look behind. So maybe cold therapy is good for re-traumatization, but because that is the only thing that wakes them up. Mm-hmm. I had an example like that, and the awakening has to be another trauma. Mm-hmm. That maybe, or I think, it shakes him to that extent that really learns something. Not everything. There are many after that, many very small things, as I mentioned before, the very needs, corrections, redefinitions, you know, to correct what the mother had to validate for the narcissist. So actually, coming back to social media, this is why there are more narcissists, in my view, on social media. Because they need validation for what their mothers didn't do at the time. So it's like an addiction. Why they are addicted is the challenge actually to prove that to themselves that they were right.
Or that they are lovable, that they are worthy, or
and
that they are not bad objects.
And they belong, and blah, 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 and so on.
This is what Freud called unresolved conflicts. But I was referring to something completely different. I said that narcissism is a solution, because it's a solution chosen by the child.
Yes,
narcissism as a solution is an inbuilt conflict. You cannot claim that you are God. You cannot ask other people. You cannot be dependent on other people to tell you that you're God. The narcissist is dependent on other people to tell him that he is independent. The narcissist claims that he is in control of everything, but anything bad that happens to him is because of someone else, so that someone else controls. There is inbuilt contradiction in narcissism. The minute you adopt narcissism, in other words, the minute you become narcissist, you choose a life of constant dissonance that can never be resolved. Can never be resolved in any way.
Yes.
If you depend on others to tell you that you are God, you're not a God. If your life is controlled by your boss, by your wife, then you are helpless.
Yes.
You're a victim, you're a child, you're zero.
Yes, sure.
And of course that contradicts with the main feature of narcissism, grandiosity. So all the time there is humiliating information that causes resentment and hatred and aggression and anger, rage.
But if this does not exist, then the narcissist is dead. And this is the addiction to social media coming from narcissists. And that's why, I mean, narcissists use social media, because otherwise they will disintegrate.
Yes, of course. Without grandiosity, they will. Okay.
So let's...
that's it for today, folks.
Let's hear the comment.
If some of you survived...
Or read them.
If some of you survived, write your comments. We are very curious to know everything you have to say about the format, if I'm as handsome as I think I am, the content of what we have discussed, other topics you want us to discuss in the future, and so on and so forth. any comment you may have. I will, of course, delete all the comments which I don't like, but I will read them before I delete them. So it's something, you know, you can't have everything in life.
I would just say that they should be honest.
Yeah, be honest. Be honest.
Okay.
I mean, okay, be honest.
At least they should try.
Give me all the compliments I deserve.
Yeah, okay.
Be absolutely honest. And see you next time. Fly on the wall. Still not clear. Who is the fly? Who is the wall?